The best show on the planet. It's the Glam and Reg Show.
Yeah.
Welcome to the best show on the planet, the Glam and Reg Show. And of course, this is your girl, Glam.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Reg Hollywood, in the building. Welcome to the show.
We are celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, and we have special guests that's coming through because they are definitely 50 years of hip-hop. They are the reason why hip-hop is in existence, because they contributed to this thing that we call hip-hop today. So our special guest today is currently of the group The Artifacts, an East Coast hip-hop group consisting of the Sensei, Tame One, and DJ Chaos. They hail from Newark, New Jersey, and made underground music that paid homage to the elements of hip-hop. And today we have the Sensei. The Sensei, how are you?
What's going on, y'all?
In case they don't know, you are 50 years of hip-hop.
Yes, indeed. Literally.
Yes, you are. First, let's say this. Let's thank you. I want to thank you for contributing your part into the element of hip hop, because without you, we wouldn't have it. And that's for sure.
And I thank y'all for that. You know, I'm glad to be a part of it. Been a fan since a kid, and to be involved in it for so long now, about 28, 30 years. Mm-hmm. It's been a good ride. Still more, to go, but I got in it because of my heroes, and now hopefully I'll become one to somebody else.
And that's cool. Now, speaking of heroes, who actually was your hero at that time?
My heroes was, first of all, Red Alert and Marley Marl for playing all the music that I got to like and love. My heroes are my top 5, which don't change. So it's KRS, Rakim, B Daddy Kane, Chuck D, and Kool G Rap. So those are my heroes right there. Even though through the years I've gained a lot more heroes, but those are my top. So you can talk about people like Special Ed, Chubb Rock, Paramount. There's a lot of people out there, Black Thought, The Roots. A lot of impactful MCs that have come along, teams that have also contributed to the game that influence us to keep going.
You hail from Newark, New Jersey. Growing up as a kid in Newark, New Jersey, what made you decide, hey, I want to be a rapper? Or did somebody say you had the skills to do it? Or how did you end up in hip-hop? What led you there?
Well, I started as a b-boy first, so I didn't get into the rhyme part. But that's just the thing. When you grew up in hip-hop, you grew up doing all the elements. So whether you was a b-boy first, you got into the MCing and the beatboxing and I knew everybody. So I knew a DJ, so I had to go chill with him to learn how to DJ. So, but the b-boying came first. Hearing the breaks and hearing the super rhymes and Rapper's Delight. These were the early songs for everybody. So, being a b-boy first, and then seeing certain movies, Wild Style, a movie called Star Wars, all that made me really want to get into it because I saw people my age doing it, and my parents was going back and forth to New York, so we would go with them and go to Washington Square Park. You would see all of this stuff on TV, New York Hot Tracks. I'm telling my age when I say that, but when you see this and you finally see it because you hear about it, you get into it. So that was my early being exposed to it, being a b-boy first.
Okay, so you were a b-boy, got it. Who actually said, hey, okay, now I'm going to develop this group, The Artifacts, and take you guys there where you need to be?
Me and Tame pretty much did that for ourselves. Being in Jersey in the hood, we did all the talent shows we could do. What was happening was we was watching all our friends get deals around us while we were still doing shows, not talent shows anymore, but we didn't get the deal part straight. But once we, got it together, we went up to Stretch and Bobito. They had a show on 89 Tech 9, Columbia University, and WKCR, rather. We would go up there for like one time, and we got our record deal, from that. Being on the radio, on college radio, is how we got our deal. So,
what label signed you?
We was signed to Atlantic Records. Just so happened, both of the Stretch Armstrong worked at Atlantic Records. Bobito worked at Def Jam. We got there, did that show. We got to chill with them. Just so happened they knew a guy, Rob Tulo. His name was Reef. He was the A&R for Atlantic, and he signed us to the deal we had. And lo and behold, 2 albums later, we was a full group. And we were one of the artists that come from we would say like the West District of Newark, Redman, Naughty.
Right.
Naughty's from East Orange, where I'm at now. But like when you hear those names, we was like last. After us with outsiders, we had to go through the ranks on our own to get to where we were at. So like we was like later on getting signed, but when we came, it was like we got into a club. We got there.
Well, yeah, definitely. When you come from the same hometown, most of the time you embrace each other. You say, "Oh, you're from Jersey. Oh, okay. You're from Jersey. We out here in this other country or this other state or whatever. We're going to embrace each other regardless." What was it like working with Tame? How was it?
Tame was like my brother. Me, him, man, Chaos, my DJ, he passed away in 2019. So, it's crazy that both members, I'm the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But, working with Tame was like a challenge when you talk about keeping up with somebody, lyrically, where my man, he was one of the best. So it made me better being around him, but it also, our chemistry is what made the group go. We was like total opposites, even when it came to style.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put that together, it made the music what it was for everybody. And not having him here, it's been since November last year. It's been a roller coaster, man. It's just been a lot. At the same time, still trying to work for myself and just really like now keep the brand alive, keep the legacy alive, and pretty much continue on what we were doing, even for the fact that I'm alone. But that's where the chemistry also comes from. What I do now is going to be from what I was doing in my group. And it's been like that even when we were solo. We made a lot of magic, even with what we were dealing with, the label. We were always on tour, even to did our last one and our last album, which was produced entirely by Buckwild DITC. Mm-hmm. The album was called No Expiration Date, and all up until that last record, we did everything with the way we were normally doing it. Even when split up, come back together, even till we was done.
You guys split up at one point. What was the purpose of the split up?
When you in this business, as you can see, and I don't know if y'all watch Unsung, any of those shows like that, you get to a point where you hit the ceiling, and as far as anything we were doing, I remember a guy at the label told us, like, whatever y'all doing, however way y'all records are selling, is because y'all on tour. And to hear that people that work at the label, which we knew didn't like what we were doing, but they not from where we from. It was a lot of headbutting. It was a lot of them not understanding where to go with what we were doing.
Oh, okay.
So we were fighting the machine. So we pretty much had to like leave the machine, to find ourselves and then take a chill for a minute, and get the like. We pretty much had to do our own thing for a minute, just to find out what we were worth in the game. It didn't necessarily have to be that way, but it did, and it was a blessing in that where we became what we were solo, where we was like, okay, now we see what we can do, on our own.
Right.
Which spanned out to be more than what we thought that was, because when we got to do shows later on and when we got back together, we were able to do artifact stuff and our solo stuff, and that made the show even bigger.
I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I believe that anything's meant to be always finds its way back.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened too.
Yeah, you go your separate ways, come back around. It was meant to be. Carrying the group legacy and the group name and everything still to this day on your own.
Yes.
How is that? That's a lot of work, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but the thing about it for me is that when like I've gotten to think about it, sit with myself, and a few times had to realize like, wow, it's really like, it's done. There is no group. That's when you think about it like that, when you say that. But in my mind, even though I know they're gone, it's in my mind still like they're here.
Right.
Musically, the process that I still will do, it feels like, at some point, I know Tame's verse is supposed to come in, or his voice supposed to come in after me. The one thing I tell everybody, and a lot of my friends, understand this too, because when we were separated, we had that time to adjust and adapt. Both of us had to adapt to neither one of us being there for each other. So it made it like, okay, I was able to survive that, and like I said, make my own career. We both did, but it showed me what I can do, and it took me overseas, and it kept me busier than I thought it would. But I was able to still eat. I was able to still function in a way where I was like, okay, well, yeah, I can do this. It don't have to be so hard. And I was able to get my business right and show myself that I was able to do it.
I get it. I think that's the reason why sometimes we're put out there on our own to see that we can hold it down on our own and then come back. That's how it happens. So anything.
Right, and that's how life goes. You know, it sometimes, you know, it can be too big for you. It can be just right, but it'll be always something there that'll, you know, trip you up, see what you made of, and see if you can come back from it. You know, that's pretty much what life is anyway. But like you said, finding your way back is pretty much what me and Tame did. Even though we were split up for 10 years, that was just a lot of pride. You know, a lot of like, you know, just
that ego, pride.
Yeah, a lot of that too. A lot of that too.
Well, that come with hip hop, right?
Yeah. That's, you know, and just being a man, you know,
right.
Pretty much just like admitting to whatever we did and let's get back to it. And that's what we did.
And that's a great thing. It's a great thing that you were able to do that and experience that before his time was up here on Earth. Do you perform under the Artifacts name now today at all?
I mean, anytime I perform solo or with the group. With the group, it was Artifacts by myself, Elder Sensei of Artifacts, which it will be now still till I'm gone.
Oh, okay.
I still perform Artifact songs, you know, all my verses, the crowd, you know, now the tour I just did in May and June in Europe, it was a tribute tour to that. And the crowd was, you know, right there with us, performing the songs with us. They knew the words. They would sing along. That was the first time I had to do it like that, where I had played 10 verses. You know, yeah, of course, because he's not here, but before I never had to do that. So that was different. Everybody knew what was going on. So it was a few times I cracked, you know, under that, you know, but it was just overwhelming, the love that they gave doing that tour. You know, I've had a lot of practice, you know, doing this stuff by myself, solo since 98, 99, got back together in 2008 with him, continued to make the music we was doing before we broke up. Nothing skipped a beat. So it was more or less, it was something that was supposed to happen though.
Now legally, because you guys were a group, did you all own the Artifacts together?
Now it's funny you say that, because I just went through that with his mom in court. So pretty much, you know, it was never really a situation like that, but I'll just say that she's taken care of. She was always going to be taken care of. But in writing, yes, as me and Tane went, we both owned their name. But, you know, now that her mother's in charge of his estate and everything like that, you know, everything goes me and her. So I'm just glad that split. It was always split, but it's really, really like that now. But she's straight. With all groups, you know, this happens. You know,
it's very sticky. Very sticky.
Especially behind the scenes and everything like that. You know, unfortunately, some of it played out online. But because now I can say a little bit more completely straight, you know, she can do what she want. I can do what I want, which was always the case anyway. But, you know, when things happen in death, everything else come out too. So respect to everybody that was involved. I'm just glad it's done and we can continue to move on.
Right. Definitely. That's why they say you should take care of your business ahead of time. So when things come up like that, you won't have to.
See, because my stuff was straight. It was able to be like, okay, this is what it's going to be. Nobody can say no more.
Yes. Okay. Well, my condolences to the family of Tame and also the DJ and to you, your friends and everything, because that's kind of hard. You had the memories of them in your heart. I know that, but it's hard. I know it can be very hard. Where did you get your name from? Who named you? Did you name yourself or did somebody give you that?
My name was just MCL. I used to cut hair in my friend's hair in my house. So one day, a few cats was in there in the room. So I would play Kung Fu movies and anime movies while they waiting. And we was watching one movie and I guess my man was watching how I was doing this guy's shape up. He was like, damn, that shit like a Sensei blade, brother. I said, look, you know, and the dude on TV said, oh, Sensei, screaming, coming in the room. He said, CC, that's you. He said, that's you with the way you rap and with the way you know, the way you shaping us up and everything, like a Sensei blade. So that kind of stuck. I just took that and it just became Elder Sensei. And I couldn't be the teacher because that's KRS. So I just like, oh, well, I'll be the master.
Oh, okay. I like it. It's dope.
And rhyming and doing this stuff is like you mastering your style. So that pretty much a fit. Right.
And you manifest whatever you need to through your names. People don't realize that either. You got to really be careful what you call yourself.
Right.
So you definitely picked a great name.
And you got to think my name comes from back in the day where everybody's name had meant something. It was acronyms, you know, Big Daddy Kane, knowledge ranks supreme. You know, KRS name, everything meant something.
Right.
So my name was, okay, Instead of I'm Elder Sensei, and you got my man over here named Elder Head Toucher. You got this guy over here. So we all had names back then that was way longer than now, because everybody now use their real name or something like that. They got little in their name.
I believe names attract certain kind of energy, and that's why you got to be careful. So you can't be running around here calling yourself little dummy and
right.
all these other names, and then you
I
wonder
know exactly
why
what
you
you're talking about.
Right.
Dude be a straight killer. You're like, I'll take after him.
Right, little murder, and then you wonder why
right.
you're fucking bullets and stuff. Like, you brought that energy to you.
Yeah, to you, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful what you call yourself.
Indeed.
Speaking of teachers, last time I spoke with you, you were saying that you were thinking about starting your own company.
Right.
Put any effort into that yet, El? I think
I'm getting into it a little bit. I mean, it really always happens when we do features and shows and stuff like that, getting with new promoters or agents, but it's more or less, instead of me doing that with other people, I'll be the one doing that. So it's just facilitating that avenue for people that don't have it. Probably when I'm not as busy and not doing what I'm doing so much, I'm working on it, but when they get closer to me sitting down, and I'll be able to, look at it in a way of, instead of me doing all this work for myself, I'll be doing it for other people. I have to really start to sit down and figure this part out, because it's going to have to be me showing people that I'm able to do this and then believe in me. That's where I'm at right now with it.
They can look at your resume. Proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Exactly. You got to make them believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Exactly. And that's me being on the road on my own. And then you figure it out. Because then the one thing about doing this business, if it was like freelance work, like I said, this is about freelance work. It's about putting everybody to work, whether if you're a photographer, a DJ, a producer, you get with people, like-minded people that may not, and this is not a thing where, I elaborate on it a little bit. This is the place where you come to where you're, say, not signed. Where if you're a young artist and you need, a package done, whether, we're not just talking about T-shirts and hats and stuff like that. We're talking about all tools.
Right.
If you need a DJ, cool, I got one for you. You need cuts, okay, you need producer, you need studio time, you need a package. All my people that's doing all this stuff, they can always know that with this company, being that it's freelance, you could call up, is any work going on? Because on my end, I will have to have this service going, because if somebody hit me up, they have no tools, and I got to put it together for them, that means that I have to get with all my friends and say, hey, look, this guy need pictures taken, what days of the week are you available I can block out that time, give me a flat fee, no different than if it's the dude say he want pictures done, songs done, and, a video done. I got all these people, so I'm like, okay, Wes, I need you to let me know what days you got available to block out this 4 hours for this artist for you to record him. And if they need a track, if they don't have one, you got to supply them one. And, that's how you make your extra money. But it's definitely what the people want, and I have to really supply it. But it's also, like I said, it's for people, I never wanted to be a label guy, manager, nothing like that, because I know what that is for myself. I don't want nobody calling me in the middle of the night. I ain't got no shows, man. I need some bread, da-da-da. So no, I'm not doing that. But what you can do is come here, and I'll get that done for you. And if you need any more, work, come back to me again. The door's always open, and the door's always open for people who need work. So that's pretty much what it's going to be.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for you to get started. You got to get, now that you done told everybody, because they're going to bite your idea. So now.
Yeah. See, it's really, I get it. But it's also like, a lot of people not doing that whole thing. They just doing one thing. When you know a lot of people, it's good to spread the word. You try to bite, but everybody gonna come to me because they know it's gonna be fair. I'm gonna treat everybody the same way. And it's really just getting that service, getting out of it what you need to get.
Right. No one can take what's yours. If it's yours,
right.
That's what the universe gonna make sure.
But you're right. You gotta put it in writing. You gotta make it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the name of your podcast?
Myself?
The sports podcast.
Oh, no, yeah, that was me and my man Jay Sands, Sands on Sports. We haven't done it in a while. When we did do it, it was nice. We had a couple of guests, some good guests as well, but a lot of it would be just, we would get random people to get on as a guest, and we would talk about sports during the week. Sometimes just not so much topics, like that, but just random sports topics and what we saw in the news. So, but we haven't done it in a while. So shout out to my man Jay Sands. He's out there in Baltimore right now.
Do you plan to get back to it at some point?
Well, yeah. We, Sam's been moving around. He got a business. So I know that's something, this is myself doing this music. It gets in the way. But we're going to get back on it soon. He hit me up last week to talk about it. So I'll keep y'all posted on that.
What's your outlook on the new hip hop now, today? How do you feel?
Well, my answer always the same. I don't think about it so much. But I know there's a lot of people involved in it that I probably don't know so much about. New-wise, I know some cat, and I know the movements that's happening, whether it was Griselda, this guy Jids, I like him. I still listen to people I grew up listening to, whether if I'm in the gym. It's not the same, of course. I don't have to get into a big old discussion about it. I would say the cats is a little different. And what I will say about the whole thing, though, with music today, there's no care put into doing a lot of the music today. When I say that, I'm saying as far as putting albums together, I always tell people to think about why the records sounded like they did when they came out as they did. So when you're talking about Tribe Called Quest, Gangstar, P-Rock and CL Smooth, Main Source, when I name these records, you think about them in the way where any Tribe album, Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, just those two alone, you think of not just what they were saying, you would think about the sound of it. Because not everybody listens to hip hop in the same way. A lot of people listen for lyricism. A lot of people listen for both beats and lyricism. We've heard albums where the beats supply the sound for the artist, even if they're not that good.
Right.
So today is just everybody going for broke. When I hear people say they did an album in a week and they put it out, I'm like, no, that's not good. That's not good, man. That showed me you just was in there. Blah, 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 blah. No, you didn't even think about what you were saying. You put no, thought into stuff, no topics, whatever. Even if you didn't have to be a conscious topical guy, even if it was you just changing everything around as far as your soundscape and what you were using producer-wise, it just, nobody's thinking about that. So when you think about
that heart in it, I feel.
Right, it's none of that. You got to think, even when we put our album out, we was putting our album out against the likes of, in the same week, released Redman, Method Man, EPMD, Eric Stern. I mean, damn, did we even have a chance? So we had to make this album so fire,
right?
But we had to cut through all of that just for people to even hear us.
Right.
So, when you think about giving yourself a chance, you think about now, today, when people know when J. Cole make an album, oh, here comes Jake, or when Drake drop an album or Kendrick drop an album, they know when those records come, that's when everybody gets serious. They're going to be listening to what they're saying. It should be like that for everybody.
Yeah, it should.
And everybody should take into, these dudes don't release records for a year or two after each other. Where before we were talking about one album at the top of the year, the album at the bottom of the year. Not even thinking about the effect that make when you don't take the time out to listen to the first one. Oh, well, if you give them the second one, damn, I ain't even get to sold the first one then. Because it was, and then it'd be like a double album. So everything started changing. And now, we got records where there are only 7 songs, 6 songs, 8 songs, and they call album.
With about a minute.
It'd be like an album and then a whole bunch of greatest hits. You're like, damn, where the rest of the record at? Every one half record be songs, new songs, then it'd be songs you never heard, but then it'd be songs that you heard with different beats. So today's plethora of putting out records is differently done. I understand it. It's fast. Is attention span 5 seconds or less. Mm-hmm. So, every year there's somebody we saying just the next such and such or the next such and such, rather than saying longevity wise, it should work for you every year. And, just constantly make these records, everything hotter than the next one, and we don't have that. So when I look at the TV, I look at my phone, I look at YouTube, it's like, I try to keep up with who, but at the same time I can't because I'm older, so I don't listen to a lot of these guys. try to listen and be in the car. I like, let's give it a chance. Let's see what it is. Like, when I try to give it a chance, like, no, can't do it. Can't do it.
No. What would you like people to remember you as when your time is up here on Earth?
Pretty much some of what I just said. You know, people, if they hear me and Tame's music, or they hear my music, they feel like, at least like, you know, these dudes really cared about what they was doing. Mm-hmm. They cared about what they were putting out. It wasn't just putting out anything. You know, I would hope they would listen to the tracks people we was working with and understand we wasn't trying to put out nothing whack. Nothing whack came out of the studio. And they can say we were different than everybody, you know, not as conforming to the masses, doing what everybody else do. You know, I think with being Tame, being graffiti artists, you know, and being who we were, I don't like when people say we started backpack hip hop, because I don't never know what that, I don't know if we can curse or not, but
go ahead.
I don't know what that shit mean. Like, I always try to figure that out. I always tell people, like, yo, look, when you got cats that was underground dudes compared to cats that was jiggy with it, you would see the difference. But then they were like, oh, you niggas wear backpacks. I'm like, no, bro. It's just like, when you hanging out in New York, or you leaving Jersey, going to New York,
right? Yeah.
You find yourself in different places. You might go to a party you ain't know you was gonna wind up at. You might be out longer than you might think, where you might be at, you know, out till the next day or whatever. But you never know what these dudes got in their bag. It could be spray paint, it could be weed, it could be anything. Clothes, they done boosted from the store. So, you know,
that's overnight bag, right?
That was happening. Yeah, like you said, like women said, night bag.
Yep.
You throw that in your car because you don't know what's gonna happen when the night over. But that was what it was. But I think it just became a thing because, you know, when you look at Black Moon video, who got the props, and you look at Pooba video for 360, and, you know, I think people forget that it was more or less of a fashion thing than, you know, because Tommy Hilfiger made bags, Ralph Lauren made bags, whether they be, you got wristbands, the whole set, headband, you know, Cass was doing that.
Right.
So I think people forgot about that part of it. You know, they said we were responsible for that. I don't know about that, but it didn't make you something like when they say dirty backpack. Don't know what you talking about, bro. Like, we got polo backpack and we clean.
But you know, y'all had that spray paint in them backpack.
And we styling, like, you know, we got stuff in the bag. So like, you know, but I you know, I kind of like it too, because like I said, they are categorizing us in a way of to say we wasn't the normal, we wasn't the thing what you heard on the radio. So when you knew about us, it's like the secret things everybody like. There's a lot of people out there in the world that like anime, and it could be my age and everything too, where back in the day people didn't understand it. They thought it was just about Pokemon and toys and stuff like that. But then Cats got into it. Cats got into anime, and they started finding movies like Ninja Scroll, and you can go on Netflix right now. Majority of the movies on Netflix are anime, and the best ones, top 10, you know, all the top ones that's on there, you know, they come from that. The people that's making that come from where I come from.
Right.
It's just that now they're into a lot more things, and into the hip hop. That's why you hear so much hip hop being these movies. You look at Into the Spider-Verse and all that stuff like that. Those movies is made by cats that's our age. You know, that into these things now, where they were former graffiti artists. Now they're visual artists now.
Right.
So this is where, you know, me and Tame step in, where it's like to say they grew up listening to Artifacts. They saw Wrong Side of the Tracks video, where it had animation in the video, graffiti forming out of words and hands and stuff like that. So it made it so that me and Tame existed through that as well. So, you know, I'm just glad that people will remember us for a lot more than just us being MCs, but just, you know, for the influence as well.
Well, we truly thank you for coming through here.
No doubt. I thank y'all for having me.
You know, because I'm quite sure you got a lot of things ahead of you.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff happening.
It's going to be happening. And I wish you all the best and many blessings. And whatever it is you need support on, we're here. Always be open to come here and tell us what's going on. Have us help you promote where people can find you. And speaking of where people can find you, where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm on everything like everybody else. I'm on Instagram. You can catch me on there, L the Sensei, EL_DA_SENSEI. I had another page. It was Sensei from NJ. If you following that, unfollow it. It is super hacked.
Oh,
You know, they will not. This was last August, so we coming up on a year. I've changed my page, but it's all right. You know, it gave me an option to get all the bots out of there and whoever else was fake. And you know, there's a lot more real people in there. You know, I didn't know them 39,000 people anyway. Especially when I look at it, I was like, wow, these people. I didn't know none of these cats.
that's crazy.
But you can hit me on Facebook. I'm on there. You got the government on there. So Elliot, Elder Sensei Williams, yeah, they don't let you do no just nickname stuff. So you can catch me on there. I'm on Twitter, but I don't be on there as much. But I'm on Twitter, Elder Sensei on there too, ELDASENSEI. Yeah, you can catch me on there. But mostly hit me on Instagram. I'm always on there. I sell merch on there. Anything y'all need, I'm there. So that's where you can catch me the most.
So we thank you so much. And once again,
Appreciate y'all.
helping us celebrate 50 years of hip hop.
Yes, indeed. 50 years, y'all. 50 years.
Yes. For contributing into the 50 years of hip hop, because you are the reason why we have the great things that we have. And we appreciate you for that, seriously. So guys, that was Elder Sensei from the Artifact. So
The best rap era ever.
yes, the legend Elder Sensei. Let's say legend. That's what it is now.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
He is a legend. You are your legend, and we're giving you your flowers today. Thank you, like I said once again, because you are the reason why we have the good hip hop that we have.
Oh man, thank y'all very much for that.
Thank you, El. Thank you.
No doubt, dog. Thank you, Britt. And I appreciate if you need anything else, let me know.
Thank you, Al. We appreciate it.
All right, y'all.
Like I said, stay in touch.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Peace, brother. All right, right. Peace. What up? What up? This Elder Sensei Artifacts, y'all. Listen, 50 years of hip hop. We celebrating. Glam and Red Show. Y'all need to be tuned in. Elder Sensei Artifacts. Jersey, stand up. Glam and Red Show, y'all. Peace.
Yo. The best show on the planet. It's the Glam and Reg Show.
Holla at us.
Yeah.